TSA is committed to protecting the traveling public. To ensure everyone arrives safely to their destination, pat-down procedures are used to detect prohibited and potentially dangerous items. Here's what you can expect if a pat-down is needed. Travelers may receive a pat-down if they cannot or choose not to be screened by advanced imaging technology or a walk-through metal detector. TSA pre-check passengers may at times receive a pat-down as well. A pat-down may be needed to resolve an alarm and/or as part of additional security measures. Before the pat-down, an officer of the same gender will go over the procedure. Please inform the officer if you have difficulty raising your arms or remaining in the position required, or areas of the body that are painful when touched. Since pat-down screening is conducted to determine if prohibited items are concealed under clothing, the screening includes sensitive areas of the body, and pressure must be applied to ensure detection. For pat-downs of sensitive areas, officers will likely use the back of their hands. There may be instances when the front of the hand may be used to screen sensitive areas. A pat-down may include inspection of the head, including a head covering, shoulders, arms, torso, groin area, legs, and/or feet. In some cases, you may be required to lift, raise, or lower your clothing. However, you will not be asked to remove or lift any article of clothing to reveal a sensitive area. Please note that at any time of the procedure, you may request a private screening accompanied by a companion of your choice. A second officer of the same gender will always be present during private screening. Have questions about screening procedures and what to expect at the checkpoint? Contact the TSA Cares helpline prior to your next flight, or tweet or send a direct message on Facebook to Ask TSA. For more information, please visit tsa.gov.
Brief overview of what passengers should be looking for when they're heading to the airport. Things that you should not be bringing. Prohibited items, of course, any type of weapon, knives, guns, but any type of replica weapon as well is something that you should look out for. Also, tools like Leatherman, Swiss Army knives; those are not allowed in your carry-on bag at all as well. Another resource you can use if you have any question as to whether or not you can bring something on a plane is to go to tsa.gov. If you go to that website, you can type in the name of virtually any item, and you can find out whether or not you can either check the item, bring it into your carry-on, or whether it's just prohibited completely.
So traveling TSA, the delays are definitely on the weekends. I try to travel during the week. It's crazy Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sometimes you can stand in line for 30, 45 minutes just to go through a TSA checkpoint. You never know what they're going to require. One day is take everything out and they want blood. The next day is you can leave your shoes on, keep your computer, and you can continue to travel through. So definitely these delays are there. So with the change in leadership at the top, not sure where the problem lies. The change doesn't really bother me. I just want the lines to be better so I can get through TSA faster.
After intimate pat-down, she wonders how much privacy must we give up to fly safely? By Bruce Henderson. B. Henderson at charlotteobserver.com. Order reprint of this story. August 23, 2017, 10:52 a.m. Jenna McFarlane was on the way to visit a friend in Baltimore in April when her carry-on bag triggered an alarm at Charlotte's airport. A Transportation Security Administration screener told McFarlane she would have to undergo a full-body pat-down by a female officer. Late for her flight and with no option other than to be searched in private, McFarlane agreed. The pat-down, done over her clothes, explored her breasts, crotch, and buttocks. I did not imagine that she would ask me a few times to spread my legs wider and in fact touch my vagina 4 times with the side of her hand, McFarlane later wrote in a complaint to the TSA. The experience humiliated McFarlane, 56, a Charlotte graphic designer and part-time teacher who flies several times a year. It also left her with a nagging question that millions of fellow travelers could ask: how much privacy must Americans give up in order to fly safely? Just a month before her search, TSA had launched a new, more involved pat-down procedure. TSA defends its screenings. Officers are trained to treat passengers with respect, it says. Pat-downs are done by officers of the same gender as the passenger, with a second officer present, and can be done out of sight of other passengers. Pat-downs result in the discovery of knives and other dangerous items carried on a passenger's person on a daily basis, spokesman Mike England said. They are a valuable tool in keeping our skies safe. Read more. The boy was screaming with 7 hours left to fly. Then she held out her hand. But some security experts question whether the screenings are really effective, and civil liberties advocates say pat-downs can be nearly sexual in their intimacy. Complaints poured in when the TSA began more aggressive searches in 2010. Travelers gave graphic accounts of genital contact by agents, the New York Times reported, and a general sense of powerlessness and humiliation. CNN political commentator Angela Rye posted a video of her own pat-down at Detroit's airport last December. Rye said she fought back tears as a TSA agent twice touched her crotch. Of course, we want America to be safe and protected, but we should not violate the emotional and physical safety of our nation's citizens at the same time, Rye wrote. Humiliated. McFarlane said she is sensitive to being touched by strangers. Her pat-down, by a female officer who explained the procedure in advance, took place behind closed doors. I told her I felt humiliated, McFarlane said. She told me she was surprised that I'd never been searched before. She filed complaints with TSA and Senator Richard Burr's office but concluded that the agent was just doing her job. I travel fairly often, have no criminal record and am a cooperative person, she wrote in her complaint. I feel the search was improper, uncalled for, and other searches could have been conducted that would have eliminated the need for invasive touching. TSA told the Observer it can't comment on specific complaints. In a response to McFarlane's complaint to Burr's office, the agency said a test indicated explosives might have been in her bag, prompting the pat-down. None were found. The description of her screening is consistent with TSA standard operating procedure for alarm resolution, TSA wrote. People who refuse to go through imaging screening or walk through metal detectors, or who have triggered alarms, undergo pat-downs, TSA says. TSA also chooses passengers randomly for pat-downs. Passengers who won't complete screening aren't permitted to fly. Sensitive areas. McFarlane's search came a month after TSA changed its pat-down protocol, reducing several options to one standardized procedure. TSA won't describe the differences between the old and new procedures but, Bloomberg News reported, warned airport officials that passengers would be more likely to notice them. Days after TSA's new policy was enacted in March, the TSA search of a 13-year-old boy in Dallas left his mother livid. Her video got 7.7 million views on Facebook. TSA says the new procedure uses enhanced security measures that were put in place several months earlier but doesn't expand the areas of the body, including the breasts, groin, and buttocks, that can be patted down. They're intended to find hidden weapons concealed on the body, such as improvised explosive devices or components. Officers use the back of their hands to touch those areas, the agency's website says, but in some cases the front of the hand may be needed to determine that a threat does not exist. That policy existed before the new procedure began in March. TSA said it has received about 11 complaints about pat-downs in Charlotte between July 2016 and July 2017, the same number as in the previous year. TSA screened about 9 million passengers in Charlotte between March and late July. The threats TSA hopes to stop are real. Screeners nationwide found a record 96 firearms, 85 of them loaded and 26 with a round in the firing chamber, in carry-on bags in the week of July 24 to 31 alone. Agents routinely find knives, brass knuckles, batons and stun guns. TSA advises RDU passengers to double-check their bags. Transportation Security Administration Michael England tells passengers what is prohibited in their carry-on bags when they flying. This includes knives, firearms, or a set of replica knives. Catherine Trogdon. In 2009, Umar Farouk Abdul Mutalab tried to detonate plastic explosives hidden in his underwear while on a Christmas Day flight from Amsterdam to Detroit. Fellow passengers subdued the underwear bomber. But some critics say TSA's security measures don't actually work. Security theater? In 2015, Department of Homeland Security auditors successfully concealed mock explosives and weapons from TSA screeners 67 out of 70 times, the Los Angeles Times and other media reported. The 95% failure rate led to reassignment of TSA's acting administrator. McFarlane herself said she once inadvertently got a box cutter through TSA screening as agents fixated on the amount of water in her bottle. Security expert Bruce Schneier, Chief Technology Officer of cybersecurity firm IBM Resilient, argues that federal officials use security theater to reassure an alarmed public. Instead of inconspicuous methods that would be more effective, he says, TSA enacts security precautions in response to specific incidents, confiscating liquids, screening shoes, banning box cutters. If you've ever been arrested, you know that any pat-down that isn't physically embarrassing is ineffective, Schneier said. Compared to aggressive searches by police, he said, the cursory pat-down by the TSA is laughable. Schneier says airports need security, but argues that there are few actual terrorists intent on doing harm. If we can't keep weapons out of prisons, we can't hope to keep them out of airports, he said. In light of TSA's weekly haul of confiscated firearms, he added, the only explanation for why planes aren't falling out of the sky is because no one is trying. Jay Stanley, a privacy expert at the American Civil Liberties Union in Washington, D.C., describes a cycle of mission creep in which TSA backs off invasive searches after public outcry only to resume them later. They're never going to catch everything, so the question becomes, how far are you willing to risk going for the amount of pain you're applying to the flying public, he said. The ACLU says the TSA should tighten its rules on when pat-downs are to be conducted. Passengers, Stanley says, should know TSA policies, demand that they be followed and file complaints if they're not. It's certainly a civil liberties issue, Stanley said. People are being exposed to the close contact with federal officials that many people don't expect from anyone other than their sexual partners. Another way. TSA advises passengers with anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, an aversion to being touched or a history of sexual trauma to notify agents before they're patted down. TSA offers a helpline and support officers for passengers with disabilities, medical conditions, or other special circumstances, but says the level of service varies among airports. The agency apologized, in McFarlane's case, for not getting her the help she had requested on her return flight into Charlotte after her pat-down. McFarlane said that, in filing her complaints with TSA and Burr's office, she had wanted to learn whether the agent who searched her acted appropriately. I learned a lot in the following months about how well she had done her job and that Congress approved the procedure, she said. I emerged with a healthy respect for the hard work of the TSA agents and how much they too must loathe this procedure. I've always had it in me that as an American, I should help other Americans. This felt like the opposite. In speaking with the TSA, I realized there was no way I could help them other than to submit to what I and others have described as humiliation. I thought to myself, there must be another way. Travelers and the TSA at Charlotte Douglas International Airport. Travelers enjoy a slow afternoon when dealing with security at Charlotte Douglas International Airport Tuesday afternoon. Davey Hinshaw at charlotteobserver.com.
Hey Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done... Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before,
Sheriff's getting a little too pushy. You work for us, Sheriff. Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I found that I had to make a change this ending on my videos, letting you know about the channel and fair use laws, you know, how we can report on other people's reporting and how it's good, how it's bad, etc. But you guys can look it up yourself. It is legal. It's in there. But like I've told you before, that I've been cut off from making money on YouTube for 4 years. It's really weird, bizarre, but they cut the money off, but they said you can keep the channel, and now YouTube makes all the money. And if you get bored, plug it into Social Blade website, and you'll see that they are making a huge amount off the site. Right now it's at 63 million views, 53,000 subscribers, almost 3 million views a month. You know, trying to wake people up, and I make nothing. In fact, I got a customer that's ex-congressman. He said if I could ever find a lawyer, sue YouTube on it. But because this is nuts. 4 hours a day, and to save America. You know, but at the same time, it's worth it. Look at what our founding fathers did. They died for this country. So, but getting back to the money part, this is why I'm redoing the video. Is my dream of everyone giving $1, and it's going to be $53,000 a year, or if they did Patreon, which you know, can be monthly. That is not working. That'd be great if it did. Nothing is perfect. And I appreciate the people that do donate, you know, what they can on PayPal. And there again, I'm letting you guys know that is not much. Is, you know, monthly is, oh my god. So anyways, yes, you cannot live on it. It's very, very, very low amount. But the dollar things, I do appreciate that. But when I first said everybody give $1, that's not working. I'm just letting you guys know it's, yeah, that dream. Everybody gives $1. 53,000 subscribers, it's not working. So, yes, if you can give more than that, you know, I appreciate it. Like I said, you know, I'm in a unique situation where, you know, we're already debt-free, and I'm not rich, but with the little business that we have, I am able to do what I am able to do 45 hours a day, you know, letting you guys know what's going on. In 4 years, I've did the whole thing myself, 12,000 videos on there. I literally get emails where people are like, holy crap, I never knew it was this bad. And it is this bad, and it's getting worse every day because we have the internet, we have cell phones, we have cameras everywhere now, and it's just disgusting what's going on. And then, as you guys know too, now we got Trump, we got Jeff Sessions doing a war on drugs, and now he wants to go after the forfeiture laws again. It's just unfreaking real. So if you can give more than that dream of everybody giving $1, yeah, that old video, that's not working. They're not, they're just not. So anyways, if you can give more than that dream is not working. Hardly anybody is giving. There you go. So that's why I'm remaking the video. If you can give more than that, that would be great. And there again, like I said, the Patreon's there. There is some people on there that are starting to give, but there again, it's very, very low. And like I said, I don't want to get rich off of that. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because, you know, it's still so stinking corrupt. It's not even funny. My court case that I'm going to be paying out of my pocket myself with Charlotte County's coming up. They illegally looked me up and then posted all my information on LEOAFFAIRS website. They basically doxed me, however you want to say that. I forget what the word is, and they outed me, man. And that information on that site went out to 500 sheriffs, deputies, people that work at the jail, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, it is very, very scary, but we're going to do a federal case, 1983 case, violating freedom of speech. We have 17 cameras in the house now. We got 2 cameras in the car. I always carry a camera plus a cell phone. A lot of people are highly recommending I get a vest now. If I could, if the wife would let me, I would run for sheriff. We are trying to push the thing nationwide right now, where just to mix it up and to get the topics out there is register to run for sheriff, NPA, no party affiliation, as a write-in, and that is completely free, and you can participate in the elections. And there's a lot of stuff. We got a guy, James McLinnis in Pinellas County, Tampa, who almost won. He experienced the corruption himself. The story is unbelievable. Look him up. It's mind-blowing what they did. It pissed him off. He is very, very smart. He has way more money than I did. He ran for sheriff at the last 3 months last year in 2016 and almost won. He got all of the black vote. And the reason why he did that is because he ran on, I will not bust, we're in Florida, I will not bust anybody for weed anymore unless it's an ungodly huge amount, like pounds. And then he also ran on no more victimless crimes, no more of this freaking road pirate bull crap. And then he was going to cut the budget by 30%. And when you think about that, you can. If you stop the road pirates, you can get rid of a bunch of people. Gone. So, the wife has been saying, yes, I can, yes, I can't. So I don't know. We're trying to find somebody that can do it because I am busy doing this anyways. But, so I'm making a video, like I said, that $1 a month from everybody, you know, for 53,000 subscribers, that is not working. I'm just letting you guys know. Absolutely give way more than $1 a month. If you can, I appreciate anything. By the way, remember too, when you give that, PayPal takes like freaking 15 to 20%, so it's even worse than that. But, and there again, like I'm letting you guys know, it's way, what I get is very, very low. Appreciate it, but it is very, very low. Can't live on it. I'm just, you know, I'm working, and that's what I'm working on. And that court case is going to cost a buttload of money. That's federal court. Just the filing fees and the depositions that we're going to be doing with this corrupt cop. So there's another reason to give. We are going to be doing a deposition with this very corrupt. He was in a drug squad. He is a bad guy. He's on steroids. We heard steroids are rampant here. That's why their attitude is so bad. And we are going to get him on video, and it will be on YouTube. So that case alone is $5,000 just to bring it to court, and that's my money out of my pocket. So there's another reason to give, and give way more than $1 if you can. So keep that in mind. This is the new video, and I see, God, I talk a lot. It's already 7 minutes, but had to make it just to let you know that $1 a month from everybody is not working. They're not doing it. So if you can give more than that, please. So thanks. Keep it up. Share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, send me your videos on corruption, and I'll post it.